Today I am watching Peaky Blinders Season 2, Episode 2. Episode 1 was the start of the new season. We found out that Freddie has died, and we found out that Ada and Freddie were living in London. Ada looked like she was kidnapped at the end of the last episode, so I'm very worried about what's happening with her. We also found out that it was Grace who shot Campbell, not the other way around, as Season 1 finale had kind of alluded to. Grace wasn't in Episode 1, so I'm not too sure where she's at. Campbell is back in town and now has a cane. It sounds like he got shot in the leg by Grace. Tommy has these big plans for expansion and moving to London, and that broke some rules, and there was definitely consequences for those actions, as we saw him getting very much beat up and getting a tooth removed, and now he has a war with this new guy, and Campbell's also back, so it's not looking good for the Shelby family. So I'm a little nervous to watch this episode and see what happened, see how Tommy's doing, see what's going on with Ada. But I'm really enjoying the series so far. It's so well done. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you're ever curious about what gear I use or what's on the bookshelf, I've included a link in the description. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Tom Hardy's in this episode? What? I love Tom Hardy. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god. Oh! Get out of there, Ada. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Peaky Blinders.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, she definitely doesn't want anything to do with the Shelby name anymore.
Pass me cigarettes.
You saved his life now, but that doesn't mean you won't hurt him or kill him later. That cane just makes him scarier somehow. Like the sound of it always clicking. Oh, God.
Keep safe.
Okay.
She's married now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No medal for you, I bet.
Okay, yeah, so Grace is in New York now. She's married. Maybe still writing to Tommy. I don't know how he knows that. Yeah, Campbell's like, I know you killed that guy. I know we found the body. I know it was you, and I could charge you with murder, but I'm not going to, and you're just gonna work for me now, basically. So I'm sure Tommy's thrilled about that. Tommy left the hospital. He can barely walk. Oh my gosh.
Get that oil you put on the legs and I go line.
Oh my gosh.
Tell her she's in charge for good.
Yeah, so Tommy's heading to London now, to Camden Town, and he had mentioned that earlier in another episode, he'd mentioned Camden Town. He's like, Polly's in charge while I'm gone. He literally just, like, barely escaped death, and now he's like, back to work, better head back to London and sort this thing out. Ah! Yeah, he's like, I'm a sitting duck in the hospital, like, Campbell knows exactly where I am, and I've got lots of enemies, obviously, anybody could find me here. I've been to Camden Town. I'm curious to see what the 1920s version of Camden Town looks like. Well, at least he can open both eyes now.
The brown bread, like all sorts.
Tom Hardy, the baker.
Not bad.
He's not the review he was hoping for.
Come look.
I'm so glad Tom Hardy's in this. I think he's great. Oh, I'm so excited to see him.
Up his nose, and I hammered it home with a duckboard. It was biblical.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
They said I shot you already, right? In the face.
This guy is a wild card.
It's simple, mate.
This is not going well. Oh my god. Oh, Tommy's nose is bleeding. Yeah, you should have stayed in the hospital.
No.
No? Would you like to go?
Is he threatening to rip Tommy in two and send him in two different pieces, like in barrels? Like, this guy's dark.
I'm sorry, God. That is your plan.
This guy's a loose cannon, Tommy. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. I know you want to expand, but this guy's... I don't know, something's very off about him.
Through the banks. My accountant says the best thing is to buy property for cash and put in the name of a family member.
Investing in real estate, okay. So we got her an apartment. Yeah, where she's living now is right on the edge of this Sabini's turf, and the police obviously won't be protecting her. They'll be protecting him, so she gets a whole new house, which would be interesting.
I didn't mean that.
The Sabini character is very particular about his word choices.
You're being ridiculous. Somebody's sat you down. Somebody's.
He seems very paranoid. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, deal with them. He's like, oh, you're making a deal? It's like, that's not what I said. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Follow him, and you f***.
So much rage. What happened? She like slept in, or what's going on?
When do you get back?
Didn't want to miss your birthday, Paul.
Oh, it's her birthday. Okay.
After you.
They bought her a house. They're investing in all this property to hide all the money they've been making and putting it in people's names. So Ada gets a house. Polly gets a house. Is that what's happening? It's a beautiful house. Oh my god.
This is yours. Because you deserve it.
So sweet. Even though he is using it to hide laundered money and money he gained from illegal activities.
Come here at weekends. There's a garden.
Is he hoping this will like keep her away and he can do whatever he wants basically because she'll have a new house and will be out of their space?
She told me what it is would make you happy.
Oh, okay. She did keep the secret.
And of confidential forced removals.
Oh my god.
Take a look at the records. They never showed you.
Oh my god, yes! Please! You have to! If he can, that would be amazing. I don't know how that's gonna go, but hopefully he can. Hopefully it's good news. Oh. Yeah, because I'm guessing the kids and like Polly's kids and the Shelby kids would have been the same age or maybe a little bit older. Plenty of room for Carl to run around.
Silence at last.
I love that herringbone floor. Oh my god. I watch too much HGTV.
Somewhere called Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, so him and Grace are still writing letters? Okay.
Dear Mr. Churchill.
He's writing a letter to Mr. Churchill? Oh my. Aha!
To make direct contact with you to make sure that certain things are clearly understood.
Yeah, because I don't know if Churchill knows that Campbell is like blackmailing and threatening Tommy.
Easily met with a few quiet words over lunch with the appropriate ministers.
Sir,
Who were they going to ask him to assassinate?
proceed as discussed. Agreed, sir.
Yeah, Tommy's like, I know you want me to do this thing, so in exchange for me assassinating this person, I want an export right, basically, so I can send manufactured goods across the world. So Tommy is definitely clever. Like, he sees every situation as an opportunity of how he can get something, basically. So he's not going to do nothing for nothing. So yeah, that's very interesting. That would be a pretty big expansion if he can't get London, so.
I see. So what does Henry know about his real identity?
Yeah, is Henry Polly's kid? Yeah.
Well, the boy's approaching his 18th birthday.
This isn't right.
Tommy found her son. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Who are you?
Please, Henry, come on.
I know this actor as well.
Come on.
Yeah, so now Henry has his birth mom's address. Will he go see her? How's that gonna go? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he found his son. Maybe he'll find her daughter as well. Who knows? Unless she is actually passed away, like Polly dreamed. And that actor was in Animal Kingdom, I believe, is another TV show. Oh my god, Arthur, stop! I'm pretty sure he's from Animal Kingdom.
It was a fair fight. Yeah. Alfie just caught him with a good one.
Yeah, Arthur killed that guy? Oh my god.
He can't even stop. Even his own name.
Yeah, he just like zones out and just beats the crap out of the people.
There were witnesses. There will be questions. Get your story straight. It was an accident.
Yeah, I think Arthur's still dealing with the stuff from his dad and is just drinking a lot and fighting a lot.
We'll look after his mother. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and they're gonna lie and cover it up, obviously, and say it was an accident.
Take this fucking fig away.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. Yeah, and Arthur was taking some kind of medicine we saw in the last episode. Well, medicine that I feel like was opium.
I haven't got enough on!
Stop it.
The war is done! Shut the door on it.
Stop it.
Shut the door on it.
I don't think it's that easy for him. And there's other stuff. Yeah, oh my god, these guys are gonna fight. Yeah. There we go, yeah. Tommy's like, I can't keep babysitting you, like, but also Arthur obviously needs support right now, and Tommy's running out of patience and energy to deal with him. Yeah, the war's not over for Arthur, and even Tommy was suffering from bad dreams for a while. We haven't really seen that in this season yet, but it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Extras for specific favors.
Ew, ew.
Honest man. And now you're on the Peaky Blinders payroll.
Yeah, and he, like, was giving Campbell crap for being corrupted.
Shelby thinks you work for him, but in truth, you work for me.
Oh, okay.
Use you mercilessly.
Rude. Yeah, he's like, Tommy thinks that, you know, you guys have this. He's paying you off. He thinks he can trust you however far Tommy trusts police officers. So now he's going to get this guy to spy like he was with Grace.
You can see when it's white and when it's black.
Because Anna died, like she dreamed.
What you saw in your dreams was right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and that's extra heartbreaking if it was recently, like she'd been out there this whole time. Poor Polly. But she can, at least she knows now for real and has like concrete proof.
She died of something called spring fever.
I'm not sure what that is, but I know there was a lot of child migrants between the UK and Australia, so oh my gosh. That's very far from home. Man. Yeah, it sounds like she didn't do well being adopted, kept running away, and...
I know where he lives, I went there.
Sad news, but good news at the same time. She's not gonna shoot him. I know she really wants to see her son, but like...
You tell me what he is!
How frustrating that would be to not know, finally get answers, or get so close to answers, and then not get that last little piece. So at least she found out the truth about her daughter, and that her daughter is passed away, as sad as that is. At least she's not wondering anymore. And yeah, Garrison's reopening again. This was a great set. I'm glad they brought it back. And hopefully Michael/Henry decides to come visit her on his own terms, and they can work something out, because I think it would be heartbreaking to know that he's out there but doesn't want anything to do with her. So, especially since she didn't give him up willingly. I'm very worried about what's gonna happen next. If he starts doing this regularly, or yeah, yep. He'll feel better, but I'm worried about his temper now.
There you go, Michael.
Oh, that's a very long cigarette. He's burning her letter. Oh, he's clearly still thinking about Grace. Oh my gosh. He's not even a little bit curious. Oh man. Yeah, I'm curious if they've been writing letters back and forth these past 2 years, or if it's just now that it's starting again.
Oh.
Yeah, she's mad at him now, obviously. Oh, and here comes Ada and baby Carl.
Just talk to her. No one can get through to her. Tell her I had no choice.
Yeah, she's hoping Ada can talk to Polly and, I don't know, relate like mother to mother maybe, and try and smooth things over, but I don't think that's gonna work.
My love, pleasure hasn't even begun.
Oh, my. I feel bad for Polly, even though it is like slightly good. Even though it is good news that her son is alive and nearby, she still can't see him, and obviously dealing with the loss of her daughter. Oh, man. Yes.
So she lived here, number 17.
Yes, that's her son. Yes. And she's coming home.
There was nobody here.
Oh.
So I waited.
Oh my gosh, you waited all night?
It's grey.
I think she might be my mother.
Yes. Oh my god, Polly. Ah! She just can't believe it that he's like standing there in front of her. Oh my gosh. Ah! So that was my first time watching Peaky Blinders Season 2, Episode 2. It was an interesting continuation from Episode 1. We saw Tommy was in the hospital, obviously, after dealing with that severe beating he got from Sabini. And we also saw Sabini in this episode, but Tommy removed himself from the hospital 3 weeks early and decides to head to London. And then we also saw the introduction of Tom Hardy in this episode. So I'm very glad he's in this episode, and hopefully will be through the rest of the season. I really enjoy him as an actor. I think he's great, so I'm excited. I think he'll be a great addition to the cast. His character seems a bit all over the place, and he was definitely not welcoming to Tommy, even though we found out he's the one who sent that telegram. Tommy suggests they do business together, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. I don't know that it's going to be a good idea. Like I said, I think this guy's a bit of a loose cannon right now, so I think he'll only bring trouble, but Tommy obviously wants to expand into London, and this guy has connections in Camden Town and would fulfill that expansion that Tommy's looking for. Campbell visits Tommy in the hospital and says, I know you killed that guy that we saw in the previous episode, and he's like, I could turn you in and you would basically go to the gallows because I have proof and I have witnesses and I have all this stuff against you, so instead of me doing that, basically I'm going to turn you into a spy. And now he has to assassinate someone, and Winston Churchill also knows that this is the plan, that they're using Tommy as a hitman to assassinate somebody, and Tommy, ever the opportunist, uses this as a way to leverage a better situation for himself, and he gets an export license. So now the Peaky Blinders have this license to export manufactured goods around the world, and yeah, it definitely seems like there's no stopping Tommy in his business endeavors, basically. If it was modern day, I'm sure he would have a very detailed PowerPoint presentation of all the things he wants to accomplish, but I feel like he has this giant list in his head of all the things they can do, all the ways they can make money. And we also saw them use that money to buy real estate, as he bought Polly a house and he bought Ada a house. So he's taking the money the Peaky Blinders make from illegal betting and money that they shouldn't have, and buying these properties and putting it in Ada's and Polly's name, so in case anybody comes looking. But again, I'm sure they could figure it out. Ada is still in London. She has a job. We're not sure what that is, but now she also has a house, and she was able to escape Sabini's men, and hopefully they stay away, as she's got this new house and it's out of the area that Sabini is known to visit or frequent, but that was terrifying. So I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad Tommy is slowly doing better. He was in rough shape for a little while. We also heard an update about Grace in this episode. Says she's in New York, or Poughkeepsie if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and is married to a banker and is living over there, but is still sending Tommy letters. And we definitely saw that Tommy is still thinking about her, whether he wants to admit it or not. Even though it's been 2 years, I feel like they had something special, and he's still not over it, obviously. He is burning her letters. I don't know if that was the first letter he burnt, or if this is like he's trying to take a new step and move on from Grace, but he burnt her letter, which I feel like now we'll never know what it said, and if he doesn't respond to that letter, is she going to send another one? So yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with Grace. I'm glad she's still alive and they're bringing her up in the story. That gives me hope that she will maybe come back at some point, or maybe Tommy will go to New York. Who knows? This was a big episode for Polly, as Tommy was able to go through some records and find out what happened to her kids, even though their adoption may not have been the most legal. He was able to track down her son. Michael was the name Polly gave him. He now goes by Henry, and he's about to turn 18, and he's the guy we saw turn up at Polly's apartment at the end of the episode. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that relationship. I don't know how much he knows about the Peaky Blinders, if he knows anything about them, if he's never heard about them before, if he gets involved with their activities. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen there. And I'm pretty sure that actor is from another show called Animal Kingdom. I feel like I've seen him in stuff recently. So, and I really enjoy his performance, so I'm excited to see him. Again, everybody in this show cast is so well done and so amazing, so I'm very excited with him and Tom Hardy being added in this episode. And then we also unfortunately found out that Polly's daughter, like she had that dream where her daughter was yelling at her across the street. Unfortunately, that came true, that her daughter Anna had died, and that it sounds like she wasn't really accepting this adoption process, or wherever she was placed, she wasn't happy there and kind of drifted around and then ended up being sent to Australia. And I'm curious if that was part of like the child migrants or what happened, as she would have been a minor, because Polly mentioned she would have just been 18 at that time. So if she died in Australia of something called spring fever, I'm not too sure what that would equate to in modern times. Unfortunately, she has died, and I feel like if she was alive, Polly would have been on the first boat over to Australia to see her. So it was definitely a bittersweet moment, because you could just feel Polly's love for these kids after all these years still, and how badly she wants to meet them, and knowing that Anna was alive this whole time and she could have had some kind of relationship with her if they hadn't been taken away. And it's crazy to think the police just showed up at her house, took her kids away, and gave her no information. I mean, very different times, but still, it's heartbreaking to think about, to know that that is now never going to happen. She's never going to see her daughter again. She's never going to have that reunion she was hoping for. But at the same time, she knows her son's out there. They can hopefully have some kind of relationship. I don't think that was the first meeting Polly was hoping for, but he showed up now. Hopefully they can work on some kind of relationship. And yeah, I'm really glad Polly has her son back, or at least in the process of getting her son back. And hopefully, yeah, like I said, that can be a part of Polly's life. Yeah, like Esme was saying, I don't think Polly's been happy for a long time. So she's got this new house. Hopefully her son will stick around. And even if he doesn't fully move back in, as obviously his adoptive mom seems very concerned and wants him to stay once he's 18. If he decides to leave his adoptive mom's house, there's not much she can do about it. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen there. Arthur was still struggling mentally in this episode. We see him drinking and fighting, and unfortunately he kills that kid in the boxing ring, and they're going to cover it up because that's what they do. But he just can't seem to control his temper, and it feels like he's just blacking out and isn't even present in his own body, and it's just, he doesn't realize how far he's gone, and before it's too late, and then unfortunately it's too late. He's telling Tommy, like, take away my gun, like, I don't want to be around this, basically, I don't know what I'm gonna do to myself. And Tommy loses his patience and is kind of like, you know what, I can't babysit you anymore, like, you need to figure this out. And then we see Arthur start to use drugs, what they're calling Tokyo. Tommy knows that Arthur is doing this, and I think this might be the first time Arthur's done it, or the first time we've seen him do it. So I feel like it's going to be a very dangerous and slippery slope. Tommy's like, yeah, like only for grand openings and special occasions. He's like, I know you're doing this and that's fine, but again, only use it sparingly. But I don't know that Arthur will have that self-restraint, and I don't know if he will stick to that plan, and I feel like it'll become more of a regular habit, and that worries me because I feel like Arthur's current state mixed with that will be very deadly. I guess we will see. And the other medication he was taking, I feel like was opium or something. Again, medicine during this time would not be illegal today. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It was interesting to see this introduction of two new characters with Henry, Polly's son, and this Tom Hardy character. So, and it's a new season, so I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with those. And the pub's open now. Grace is in New York. Ada wants nothing to do with the Shelby name. She's got a new house. Polly's got a new house and reconnecting with her son. So a great episode. And with all these seasons, I feel like because they're so short, they just like to lay the foundation early. And I'm very curious to see all the events that are happening in episode 2, how they'll play into episode 6 when we get there. Please no spoilers, but thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. That cane just makes him scarier somehow. I've been to Camden Town. I'm curious to see what the 1920s version of Camden Town looks like. Is he threatening to rip Tommy in two and send him in 2 different pieces, like in barrel? They bought her house. They're investing in all this property to hide all the money. Plenty of room for Carl to run around. Who were they gonna ask him to assassinate? Oh, that's a very long cigarette.